I hear a lot about the party scene in Mid-South during that era. Are we able to share any stories from either of you at that
I have
time?
no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, this just totally slips my mind.
Yeah, it's a good thing. Actually, Ted and I didn't get to do much of the party scene there because at the time, all the guys were living in Alexandria,
Yeah,
and we weren't. I was
yeah,
living in Baton Rouge, and he lived in Jackson, Mississippi.
yeah,
So we made a lot of road trips by ourselves, where we hopped in the car with my father.
yeah. And then like when I first started, like again, go back to '75. The guy who got me booked was Dick Murdoch because he again another guy from Texas, and I had my relationship with the Funks and all of that. But Dick Murdoch also was from Texas, and he said, "Hey, I'm going to work for Bill Watts in Mid South." He said, last summer you refereed. He says maybe you need to get your feet wet and get started. And looking back at it from where I am now, oh my gosh, the unbelievable amount of talent that I was exposed to, the guys that I had to work with when I was just starting was just like, oh my gosh,
Man,
unbelievable.
man, some heavy hitters to be
Yeah.
sure. I mean, Dick Murdoch, what a legend and a legendary beer drinker from what I've been told.
Right.
My dad had an old '69 Ford LTD that will tell how about that beer drinking with DiBiase and Murdoch because they borrowed my father's car one night and went down to the French Quarter
Yes, yes. Go ahead.
and they stopped on the way out of the beer joints to eat about 6 hot dogs. And those
No.
hurricanes did not mix well with the hot dogs.
Oh
Oh
no,
no.
no.
And so driving back, Ted's got to go.
Oh yeah.
So he
Well,
did.
well,
All
no. And the other thing, the before they be throwing up everything, we're coming off the bridge for the Pontchartrain, and thank God we had just got off the bridge and pow, a flat tire. So now we're in Grizz's car. I mean, I don't know his car. Dick doesn't know his car, and so we're looking for it's kind of like you get the jack, and the old jack he had the base, but there was another piece you put on there, and that piece went all the way under the bumper. Not on this car. All this car had was a little slit, and there's just a little hook, and that's all you got to do is get that hook in the slit and jack it up. Well, us two dummies didn't know that. We're looking around thinking part of our jack is missing, and so and and so I'm crawling around on the ground looking for it, and Murdoch's going, get up, Teddy. He says, car stopping. I said, good, we need some help. I crawled up to the two shiniest black boots you've ever seen. And I looked up, and there's a state trooper. And in Louisiana, they wear those Mountie hats, right? And he's got his arms crossed like this, looking at me.
Oh
And
God.
his exact words, what the fuck are you doing? And I said, well, officer, I'm looking for my nuts. I mean, lug nuts. He said, probably right on both accounts. Just, but Murdoch could talk his way out of anything, and he did. He said, I apologize, officer. He says, we're wrestlers. The kid had never been to Bourbon Street, and I took him down there, and that's, I got him drunk, and that's what it is. So he ended up, helping us finish getting the tire fixed, which that made us both feel like we were stupid. He said, your check's right here. He showed how to do it. We got the thing on. Now we got like maybe 10 or 15 miles left to get into Baton Rouge, and all of those oysters and chili dogs and
Oh no.
hurricanes are mixing, and I'm going, I can't do it, Dick. I'm not stopping. I said, well, he said, just roll the window down and let her rip. And I did. I mean, from the window all the way. When we got out of the car, we were staying at that. Oh, the 10 Flags Inn.
10 Flags.
Oh God, yeah. You talk about a place you don't want to stay.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and so you know, we get there. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning, and when I got up and looked out the window, well, it had rained, and so the rain had washed all of the crap off of the car, and then I walked around the back and went, oh my God, where we had tried to jack the car up, and it fell. Well, when it fell, it was like somebody took a can opener to Grizz's bumper.
Oh no.
Yeah, and so I called Dick, and he says, "Don't worry about it. We'll pay for it." So the next time I looked out the window, Grizz is there, and he's standing in the back of his car with his arms folded, looking. And then we told him, said, you know, hey Grizz, you know, get it fixed. You know, we're happy to take care of it. And says, you know what? I'm going to leave it just like it is. And we looked at each other and said, why? He says, because every time somebody asks me how that happened, I'm going to tell them about you two dumbasses.
I'm just going to go out on a limb and say he didn't let you borrow the car again.
Well, he didn't ask anymore.
Man, unbelievable. And I knew that it would just take a little bit of prodding and we get some kind of fun story from the Mid-South territory. Because, man, everything I've heard, it was like the Wild West down there.
It was.
It was like the Wild West. It was a joke, but it was the truth. There weren't many bars the guys could get into anymore.
Yeah,
because of all the fighting.
Because of all the fighting.
Yeah,
and that was due to Dr. Death, Hacksaw, and a couple of others.
Oh yeah,
those are the names I always hear about getting into the bar
Hercules Hernandez.
Oh yeah, he was another one. So
we were barred from everything, man.
Yeah.
Even you, Jake, while you're like just sitting there just trying to hang out, they're like all of you wrestlers out.
Oh yeah,
man, amazing. On both of our podcasts, I'm hoping to cover more of the Mid-South days because, man, I find the whole thing fascinating.